my Lord. What you say, Stanley?
If loving you is wrong, woo, I don't wanna be right. I'm gonna tell you who ain't right. That goddamn Travis. I'm just gonna go straight and talk about Travis. Can somebody please call and talk to Travis? Call the psychic ward and check that player in tonight.
My shirt says common sense is not so common. That goes for you, Travis.
Yeah, Travis.
We're gonna start off where we left off at. That goddamn Marcy is in that apartment with Brad. And we see last week that Brad ended off by trying to choke her out. So that's what we believe. I still believe that's what he was trying to do. But it seems to be that when Marcy reacted and cracked him over the head with a bottle, and tried to defend herself with the crack piece of the bottle, and then she grabbed a knife, he went into, well, what's going on? Why you acting like this?
Hit me like that?
What you do this for? I'm bleeding. What?
He said, oh, oh.
Now, I'm all for a little rough and tough in the bedroom, you know, do a little something. But that right there, that was a straight choke out.
That was a chokehold, yeah.
So you can't even play that off for me, Brad.
Nah, that was straight chokehold.
Why now you don't understand why she cracked you upside the head with a bottle?
And first of all, why'd you run up on her like that after she asked you to say, hey, Brad, what's going on? Then you gonna run up and put the chokehold on.
So eventually she got herself free and she ran up out the apartment. Now Brad still is like, what the hell did I do? And I said, don't tell me that you got doing crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, you know exactly what you did. We don't even know what you did, but you know what you did.
So then we over at the hospital, and Natalie is at the hospital. Her and Lucian is still with the whole Joey situation, and Espresso brings her tail over there with her crooked skirt. And Natalie lets her know, look, my son is screwed either way, because if he pulls through, he's going back to jail, because he's a felon and he had a weapon on him, which
while he on his parole,
violates everything.
Violating the parole.
So she basically goes into a tangent of, I'm so pissed off. I feel like I failed my son. Where's his father? A woman like myself, we cannot raise young boys to be men. And she was like, I always taught him how to do the right thing, how to look the police officer in the eye, go ahead and do what they want you to do, answer the questions they ask of you. But I never thought in a million years that somebody from my own block was take my son out. So that has so many layers to it. But let me tell you something really, really good. That got doing Natalie.
Yeah.
She done been through some stuff.
Yeah, that wasn't no acting. That was real.
That was real. I said,
that was real.
Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Yeah, that was real. And I appreciate her, Tyler. I appreciate you speaking to that issue.
Right.
Because I take my hat off to every single mom out there that's trying to raise a man. And it is very hard for a woman to raise a man. Not saying that they can't do it, but it becomes difficult. That daddy in their life is very powerful to speak into this life, to make him to become a man. So, brothers, if you out there and you got a child out there, don't use your freaking child support as no cop-out to say that you can't be in that child's life. You need to show up, bro. If you was man enough to stick it in, you got to be a man enough to deal with what comes out, player.
And it's here.
And it's here.
So, Natalie just goes into this tangent. She was just like, I'm tired. And she's really going into what I considered a nervous breakdown.
She did. She went crazy.
Lucian went and got her some medicine. And she told Lucian, and I feel her on this one too, because I have been at this point in my life. I don't want to be numb. I want to be angry right now.
I want to feel it all.
I want to go through every emotion that I have, so that when I'm done with all of these emotions, now I'm ready for battle.
I'm confused that she brought in this nervous breakdown in the middle of the hospital in the visiting room. And ain't nobody come over and say, ma'am, can we help you? You okay?
No.
You know, you all right? Can I check your temperature? Can I take your blood pressure? Can I get you soda or water? Nothing.
And this
nobody
ain't even
showed
a county hospital.
Yeah, ain't nobody show up.
Nobody. Even the people that was in the waiting room was kind of like, okay, just another black one. Well, I'm going to say this.
Yeah, go ahead and say it. Go and put it out there.
Because I have experience in this area. We do that in the hospital so much that when we do it, don't nobody pay us no mind. And y'all know I ain't lying.
Yeah, we do be losing it in there. We do.
We be in the hospital going, oh, Lord Jesus, help
But
me.
at least in the hospitals we go to, they do at least send the priest out there.
And he be just a stone cold.
Yeah.
He be like,
it's gonna be okay.
Can I get you some water?
It's gonna be okay.
What funeral home do you want us to call?
Y'all want us to pray? Like, we already done prayed. We done prayed about 50 times.
Do you think that's what we were doing in this room?
Yeah, we've been praying all day.
Oh my God. So Natalie looks at Lucian and she tells Lucian, she said, look, promise me that my son is going to make it through. I hate when people do that. You know, just pray that my son will make it through, or promise me that you know that he going to come through. We don't know that.
Yeah, you don't know.
But he said the perfect thing. He said, I promise you that I'm going to be here.
Exactly.
And I'm going to be here for you, and I'm going to be there for him because I love him.
Yeah.
He is our son.
Yup.
I said that goddamn Lucian.
Yeah, he came through, boy. He stood up as a man. He did it so powerfully. Goddamn, Espresso was over there crying.
She said,
thank you.
She said, thank you for what?
For what? For being a man.
Did you, I said, God darn espresso. Even she had a little tear in her eye. I said, she got that Visine out real quick.
That's it. I don't know. That might have been real though, cause friggin'
that was
Lucius,
a scene.
Yeah, Lucius came. They came. That was the scene of the night right there.
It really was.
That was the scene.
Well,
right
that
there.
was one scene of the night. So then we see that guy doing Eddie, and the only reason I'm talking about it because it's the title of the freaking show tonight. Which
can't even,
Eddie finds a way to get was it Steven?
Ben.
No.
No,
Steven.
Andrew.
Andrew.
Yes.
He finds a way to get Andrew out of the
Out of
precinct.
Ben's way, so he can go in the FBI database again.
So then Ben was like, okay, boss, basically being sarcastic, but letting him know, look, I got a little balls to me. I got a little weight to me.
Yeah, cause he stood up for about a half a second.
And then went right on back in there.
Right on back on there.
Because he trying to find information on Claudia.
Yeah.
For I'm like, God darn, Eddie, do it just. Have y'all noticed that Eddie walks on his tiptoes?
Do we?
Yeah, he walks like a ballerina.
I ain't even
He walks on his tippy toes. Y'all watch. Rewind it. I know y'all
might have checked it out. Yeah, I might have to go back and check it out.
Because the only reason I know that, because my cousin does that.
Oh.
Fonzo.
Oh, he do?
Yeah, he walks on his tippy toes. So he walks like that too. But anyway, so then we see Marcy, she come on the block. So you know that it's got to be something going down when you got a black woman. Well, she black to me. To come out the house, if her hair ain't did and she got a robe on.
Got a bathrobe on.
Something serious is going on in the hood.
Yes, indeed.
So she comes out on the block and the police officer, now this ain't Steven asking her all kinds of questions. Steven called the fuss.
Yeah. Bad boy, what you gonna do? Y'all remember that from Cable Guy, don't y'all?
So, he's so shady, y'all.
He gonna
tell her, say, look, I need you to identify a picture of your husband to make sure that we know who we looking at, da 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 da. He said, so is this your husband right here?
Picture of Randall and goddamn Alex in the backyard.
Kiss.
Come on. Really?
Y'all couldn't find no other picture.
Yeah. Out of all pictures.
It won't no pictures hanging on the wall. Won't no pictures on the floor that you just
No. I forgot they couldn't see because the lights is off.
They got flashlight. Woo, woo, woo. I'm like, oh my God. So that right there puts Marcy in a more bad headspace than she was when she came on the block. So he's asking her, say, well, where have you been all night? Almost like, did you do this?
Yeah, did you? Yeah.
And she was like, hold on, wait a minute.
What are you getting at? What you asking, huh?
First of all, I was being cooperative with you and I came out here.
Yeah.
So, long story short, they was like, well, where's Brad Montgomery? And they shook her down so much that she started whistling. He just got in an hour ago.
Yeah. And here's the address right here. Something, whatever that address was.
And you got my permission
to search the premises.
And then we see Brad up in there. He bagging up the muddy boots.
Them boots,
everything.
The bloody napkins and all that kind of stuff. So we still don't know what he did. I have no idea.
Someone had a great theory last week.
What they were thinking.
The theory was that maybe Ramsey went over there when he heard the commotion going on. And some kind of way Brad ended up over there. And Brad accidentally killed Ramsey.
Ooh.
And Brad is burying Ramsey out in the woods. and Rusty and the boys got Randall and the baby.
But what about the note on the door?
From what I'm taking, that Brad
might have put the note on the door.
Or Travis. I don't know.
There's
so many
but it's a good theory, though. I like it, though.
It's very,
Yeah, I like it, though.
I said, well, that would kind of make some kind of sense.
Yeah, because what you call it, he just disappeared out of nowhere. He didn't say bye, see you.
He should be stinking like right now, like Quincy was in the back of Candace shop.
Yeah.
But so we see Lucian at the hospital. We see this body come rolling past, and I said, y'all not gonna do this county mess at this good private hospital.
Yeah.
And they don't roll the body right on through the waiting room, and come to find out this guy doing Pete.
And he been conscious all day. And
ain't nobody said nothing.
Ain't nobody saying nothing. They been waiting on Pete to come conscious. Y'all ain't say nothing.
So Lucian goes over there. He talks to Pete, and he asks Pete, do you know where you are? He was like, no, what happened to me? He said, well, you been shot up and shot? He said, try to remember what happened to you. So the lady was like, look, we ain't got no time.
Yeah.
He has a transfer. We're going to send him to the secure part of the hospital. Because now that he's alert, he's stable, whatever. And Pete said, will you come visit me?
Yeah, I need you to talk to me. I don't blame you, Pete. You wake up and don't know what's going on and find out that you were shot.
So but
I hope it come back, though.
It's going to come back. But right now, I think that Pete's just playing the game. Because he was like, I know I've been shot, and I don't know who's who right now. So when I get you a lone player, when I say come see me, that means come see me.
I'm gonna fill you in.
So, what else happened? That guy doing Alice, she been calling Brad. He been ignoring her phone calls like he should. And Eddie ends up over at the crime scene.
Gloating again.
Walking through the blood, kicking through the blood. Steven was like, look. This is not funny.
Yeah, put some gloves on, player.
He said, matter of fact, get out. I'm your boss. He said, oh, don't let me remind you of how you got that position. Down on your knees. And Steven said, oh, so I don't even know why you trying to play that on me because you're the one that wear female underwear.
Ooh.
I said, well, wait a minute.
And that joker grabbed Eddie and pushed him on out the door. I said, yes.
Get him.
Get him.
What'd he say? Get him.
Get him.
So that pretty much ended like that with Eddie just being an a-hole, the a-hole that he is. But he did allude to the fact that Stevens got his job on his knees, and that Eddie got his job by doing some things too. So, so is it the captain though? I don't even want to go into it.
It's supposed to be Eddie's freak. You thought maybe they doing some stuff for the captain?
Yeah, doing some stuff to the captain.
Oh.
So we see that guy doing
Marcy.
Marcy ends up over at Alex's house because Kelly.
She walk up through there throwing stuff. This B say tear the place up.
Tear the place
up.
And then we see Travis on his 50 Shades of Michael Ealy.
Yeah.
He in the car. He calling.
Yes, phone.
Leaving messages.
I hate you.
I hate being
in this position.
He said, I like being in some positions, but not this position.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to leave that last message. I'm sorry.
You be. I hate you. I'ma kill you. Can I come by? Is he doing some strange things to you right now?
Is he kissing and hold you like I used to?
I said, oh
Travis.
My God. Travis went through every freaking emotion ever. He was on his 50 Cent tonight.
Yeah.
So Marcy goes ahead and drops a dime with Kelly about Brad having red clay on his boots and all that. Said Kelly was like, oh.
Yeah, we gonna go on out here and tell the police.
All of this.
Yeah, all that right there.
She said, because I'm about sick and tired of being in the middle of y'all little skit.
That's right.
So, that's what
I don't blame her.
And at the end of the day, Marcy went ahead and got drug out there to the sidewalk. We didn't see what happened because, of course, that'll be next week. But we pretty much know that, Brad, you better have your tracks covered up.
The Soca 5-0 is at the house.
Yeah, so then we see Alex, no more tears.
The freight crying.
She crying and crying and crying, trying to get Brad on the phone. But Brad finally answers her call. And Brad said, Rob.
Is my kids okay?
Yes.
Yes. Well, don't call me. Click up. And
so,
she...
not a tear in sight. So, she's still trying to call Brad back. But she's taking her eye all the way off the road. And then when she finally looks up for the last time, there's a deer in the middle of the road.
Yep.
And she tries to duck the deer, and she skid off the road and hit a tree. She gonna be alright. That wasn't a hard impact.
The truck catch on fire, which we saw in the previews for next week. So.
I've been in worse head-on collisions than that, and I'm alright. I guess I'm okay. Maybe that explains all of this.
Yeah.
But
yeah, this was a fairly decent episode. It's a better than the freaking episode last night of Too Close to Home. I can't say that.
I actually enjoyed this one. The acting had certain characters. They came and they delivered.
Lucius, Natalie. Well, yeah.
We see Lucius tomorrow.
Yeah, Lucia, Natalie. Who else came on point tonight?
Marcy.
Yeah, Marcy. Yeah, she came through tonight. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that ain't bad.
Yeah, that ain't bad. Yeah.
But y'all,
300-400.
Yeah. So y'all check out the rest of the family members that do this show. I think. Let me make sure I got them all right. Miss Tink. Lady Nika.
You know what we had to do? We had to start putting their names in the description because you try to remember the review. You ain't gonna remember all them names. Yeah. You gotta slap them down in the in the sanctuary.
Folk that do the show. Ashley, of course. James Colwell. All of them do it. I don't think might be doing this one this season. But anyway, we're going to bed.
From the VEA.
The what?
The VA.
I gotta say. The dirty South.
Two down.
Holla.